Acting?
Acting.
Hi, I'm Alicia.
And I'm Tiana.
We're two working actors. We happen to be women.
We happen to be Black. Sometimes that matters.
And sometimes it doesn't. Either way,
we're here to talk about all things acting, from personal experiences
to the industry itself, and of course our love of the craft.
So join us as we chat with each other, as well as the occasional acting friend, as we talk about all things
acting.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
How goes it?
Oh, girl, does it go. I keep doing this thing where I'm trying to fast forward time, and I need to stop because I'm gonna mess myself up really bad. But I keep thinking we're like a week ahead than we are, and it's kind of like I'm trying to rush myself to my plans.
Anxiety.
Yeah, something like there's something going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, but how about you? How are you doing this week?
That wasn't a good description of what your true, what is going on. That was just a very blanket. You're just trying to fast forward.
I'm just trying to fast forward time because I don't even know. So okay, because I got a fraud alert on my card today, right? And I was like, what's happening? Now, granted, I did just spend I think I spent like $60 at Home Depot, and then I went to Wegmans and I spent $60 there. And I'm like, okay, but that's just like weekly shopping. I didn't do anything crazy. And then
Yeah.
I found out that I had a $200 charge, and I said, oh boy, where did that come from? Because I don't have $200 to give.
Yeah.
And so my bank called me and they're like, hey, we detected fraud. And I'm like, what is going on? So I started scouring everything because I paid all my bills already. So I already
Yeah.
know what has been paid and what needs to be paid or was, pending or whatever. So I was like,
Right.
I don't know what this $200 is. And then I found out that it was my subscription to Backstage, my yearly subscription
Girl,
renewed.
can I tell you, I didn't know that's where that was going, but as soon as you said I found out, it clicked for me that that was Backstage. And
Yep.
Backstage also will give you a super hard time if you try to cancel, or even if you just want to, even before the subscription ends, they will give you a
Mhm.
hard time trying not to like you will have to damn near get a whole new card and just cancel the other
Yes.
one.
And just let it go. So I'm
Yeah,
like, okay, well, I can make it work. Not happy about it.
that's
Was and
crazy.
what's crazy? What's crazier is that they freaking in their defense, they
Uh-huh.
do send out a warning. I got the email because I remembered as soon as I saw the charge and as soon as I
Uh-huh.
saw your subscription will renew on May 4th of 2027, and I said, "Oh,
Oh,
they did
dang.
send me that email saying that they were going to renew my subscription like 3 weeks ago," and I just went. I said, "Yeah, I'll deal with that eventually." And then
Yeah.
eventually came, and my bank thought I
Yeah.
was getting frauded.
Can I just tell you okay, props to your bank for even catching that. Can
Oh, they're real strict.
can you dispute it with them, or
I could, I could. I mean, ultimately, it's like if I if I wanted to, but the thing is, I do like Backstage, and I do like having a
right.
subscription to Backstage.
Yeah.
And I feel like by paying for it, it motivates me to use it because
Yeah.
otherwise, what am I paying for? So I don't know. We'll see. I have to decide. But I did find out what it was. I did not get frauded. My information did not get stolen. Thank God.
That's crazy.
I
You
just
know
forgot
what, Paul?
Backstage.
I
Mm.
actually prefer Backstage to a lot of the other sites,
Same.
but I wouldn't have as big of a problem with it if they just, you can still do the $200 a year thing, but can you charge it to me monthly so that I can decide when I
Yeah.
want to turn it off, just how I do with my streaming subscription? Because there are some months where I think it's one, it's slower, and two,
Hmm.
maybe you're just busy for 3 months. So you know you're not going to be able to submit anything. So you're like, I'm not going to use it for 3 months anyway. Like
Right.
I feel like they would get more money if they did monthly subscriptions.
So
But I get it.
I think they do have a monthly subscription option, but the thing is, it's like $20 a month. It's like really stupid expensive.
How much is it?
Like 20, I think it's like $20 a month. I'm pretty certain.
Oh,
Um, let me
because
see that.
it's been a bit for me since I've been on, because they get you with that first year. I forget how much it
Yeah.
was, but it wasn't $200.
Yeah.
And I remember the
It's
second,
like 100.
oh my gosh, it was like, and then it came up, and I forgot what I did. I must have just switched cards or something because I ended up being able to get out of it. But I saw
Oh.
that, I was like, this isn't even, I was like, why is it so expensive? And they were like, oh, like first year, haha, you get
Hmm.
the discount. Ugh. But I
And
prefer
then after you get
backstage.
them.
I like,
Yeah, I found that I've had more luck with backstage.
yeah.
Like this thing that I'm doing background this week. Um, and I got that through backstage. They actually reached out to me because they were just looking for background actors.
Yeah.
Um, and so like I mean I don't know. I find that I've had more success with things on backstage than
Mhm.
other platforms personally.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
still haven't tried Actors Access, but I think I need to sign on to see because someone else was talking to me about it this weekend too. And I was like,
Mhm.
I haven't looked into it yet, but I'll get there
Yeah.
eventually. We'll
Yeah,
see.
you know, Actors Access is pretty good because Joanne, she got a pretty big commercial through Actors Access, and I remember her saying, like when she saw the posting for it, it was like
Mhm.
super vague, so she really didn't think much of it. And then when she got it, she found out what it was for, and she was like,
Mhm.
"Oh wow, like that's actually a really big job that like
Yeah.
that pulled through." So I mean, Actors Access definitely has like good stuff. You just have to look for it, and you have to pay, I think, a little bit more because you have
Mhm.
to like pay to upload videos and stuff, I
Mhm.
think.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm glad it wasn't fraud.
Yeah, no, same. Because I was literally, my mind started going. I was like, I have to cancel everything. I have to
Yeah.
change everything. How did
Yeah.
they get my password? If they have this password, they have
Yep.
passwords that, like, the
Yeah.
spiral. Oh my God, the spiral.
Hmm.
So, yeah. But what about you? It's like, okay, wait, no, not what about you. I wanted to ask you, you had your performance this week.
I did.
You did.
I had the performance for the Institute for Colored Youth graduation play, and that was crazy. This has been the craziest like 4 days of my life. Well, not that was dramatic, but it was like this is the first time I've like been able to, because even this morning, like I
Yeah.
didn't have anything to do this morning besides church, which I was like, oh, I'll just do that virtually. But I like
Okay. Oh,
meal
that's nice.
prepped, I cleaned out my fridge, I did everything that I usually do throughout the whole weekend. I did in 2 hours this morning.
Okay.
And then I had rehearsal. But yeah, the play was Friday all day. Very fun. Very fun.
Good.
Very fun.
Good. How was it in the church, like doing it in front of like all those people? Like
It was
was
great.
it crowded? Like was it as crowded as
I think they said the final numbers was like three something, 300. It wasn't quite 400,
okay.
350 maybe, which was
Okay, so it was well up
mostly,
there.
yeah, it was mostly students
Hmm.
on the bottom section of the church, and then a lot of Cheney alumni because
Oh.
the Institute for Colored Youth was the precursor to Cheney University. That's what it turned
Right.
into. I'm not quite sure when, so it was a big deal for them.
Hmm.
And the director of the play used to run the Cheney Theater Department.
Oh.
It was like there was a lot of connections. So Cheney came out heavy. And actually, you just
Yeah.
reminded me that I wanted to reach out to a couple of them because they had their drama club. At least some of them show up. And that was a really fun like conversation that we had just about moments and like acting stuff. And they were like, "Oh, I really like
Yeah.
this moment." And I was like, "Well, actually, like it's so funny you picked out that moment because that moment wasn't supposed to happen. And that was actually a mess up." But they were like, "Oh, like
Oh.
there were a couple of things that did not go right."
Okay. Well, again, the chaos leading up to this performance, it's a blessing that it went off pretty much without a hitch. You know, that you got through it, I should say.
It was the smoothest run through that we have ever had
Yeah.
of showing, but we had tech issues. So
Mm.
like the music wasn't and like the mic we were mic'd for this performance.
Yeah.
The mics were it's hard because we were rehearsing and me like I'm comfortable projecting in a space like that in a church.
Hmm.
And which I think something I'm very thankful for with theater because when I
Yeah.
first started I wasn't comfortable kind of taking up that space vocally. But
Hmm.
I was like projecting the whole time we were practicing because I'm like, well, the person sitting in the last pew needs to be able to hear me. But when
Right.
you're mic'd, okay, it's like can't really.
Because you don't want to blow the mic, right?
I
Like
don't
so
want
you
to
have to
blow
be
the
like
mic.
cognizant of that.
Yeah, so I mean, at the end, I still ended up like doing my thing, but
Hmm.
there weren't any major things. But to the people that knew, like the cast, like for example, my cue to come on stage was music, and
Hmm.
the music was so low that I was standing behind the church door. And so there was a specific moment in the music where I was supposed to come on and join um the actor that's playing my fiance.
Yeah.
And it's not like a line that it's music that is my
It's
cue to
literally the
come on.
music that cues you into the scene.
So
Yeah.
I couldn't hear the music. And it was because it was so low. I don't know what happened with the tech, and it wasn't supposed to be low. It was supposed to be very loud because literally I'm standing behind church doors that are like this thick. Like, so
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
cracked the door to kind of hear and make sure people didn't see me. And then I was mic'd up, so I was trying not to like breathe too hard because I could hear.
You're just like very like aware,
Just
just like
like,
very aware of all the things.
oh my gosh, yes. But so I ended up coming on before my counterpart, and that was not supposed to
Mm.
happen. He was
Okay.
supposed to have moments to like he came out, I think he puts a jacket on, he pours himself a cup of water. Like he has like 20, 30 seconds of things to do. Then
Yeah.
I have the first line when I come on and I'm like, "Oh, good morning." But he wasn't when I came on, he was
Wait, okay, so how did you navigate that then? Because that is a pretty that's pretty significant.
out of everything, that was the scariest moment because
Yeah.
but see, my thing is, I was worried that I was missing my cue because I couldn't hear anything. So I'm like, they're
Right.
probably waiting for me. And by the way, it's not like I wish I could show you guys the setup, but when I opened the door, I wouldn't have been able to see him unless I walked fully out anyway. So I'm like, I can't even peek and
Mm.
act like so I was really concerned that he was up there waiting for me, and I didn't want that to happen. So when
Because
I
then
got
he just have dead air. Yeah.
right. Because it was like a minute of nothing. And
Yeah.
then I cracked the door and I'm like, oh, the music's playing, but it's very low. But he couldn't hear it either because he's on the other side behind similar doors.
Hmm.
So I came out and I saw he wasn't there. I was like, well, so I just started fixing a chair. I fixed the same chair 20 times. Then I walked up and I was like, I didn't get far because the director saw and she went and like kind of like knocked on the door or
Yeah.
something so he could come out.
Okay, good.
But if that would have had to go on longer, I would have
Hmm.
walked to the door and we would have had to improv something.
Yeah.
Because it was supposed to be a cute moment where I'm watching him pour a cup of water and then I'm kind of like, oh, good morning. And then
Oh,
so yeah, that was but people didn't notice. Because then they were
okay.
like, oh, I love when you came out and you were watching him walk out. I was watching him walk out because I'm trying to make sure he's on stage.
The whole time you're freaking out like this man was not on stage when he was supposed to be.
The
Like
whole
the
time I'm
start of it.
like, because it wasn't, and we talked about it and we all were like, we did what we had to do. Because I
Right.
was telling him, I was like, I am so sorry that I came out too early, but I was worried you were out there waiting for me and I didn't know what to do. But it was fine. After that, we adjusted.
And that is the fun of theater to
Oh,
me
yes.
because
Yes.
you never know when moments like that are going to happen, and that's when the work of being an actor really comes in, and like you really have the chance to flex those skills because
Yeah.
you have to know the show truly must go on. You
Oh,
have to
yeah.
know how to deal with like, okay, how can we make this so it stays truthful, so it stays connected, so we don't, because like you're in the play, you can't stop it now. You have like 300 plus people watching you, so like you
Yeah.
have to keep going, and that's where
Yeah.
like you really have to like lean on those acting muscles and like everything that you've practiced and rehearsed and just
Mhm.
kind of like, okay, we're doing it.
And then to our character, because we were playing real people, it was
Hmm.
no longer about how would Tiana fix the situation. It was what would Carolyn do in this situation to bring it on track. So that's
Yeah.
like going back to knowing your character. And then also, I'll say this just generally. We had a cast change the night before the show.
Right.
And that was But you know what, though, looking back on it, I wasn't as freaked out as I would have been had it been like let's say 2 or 3 weeks before the show started. If there was a cast switch up, I probably would have had a like a panic attack. But because it
Mhm.
was the night before, all of us kind of went into the mode of let's figure out how to fix it because we don't even have time to panic. Like, you know what I
Right,
mean?
right, right.
So
Yeah.
I'm already thinking in my head, how many of those lines can I just take? I might not be able to memorize them, but I got the gist of them. I can improv it. Or luckily for us, because it was in like an academia setting, it was a graduation ceremony.
Hmm.
We all had not notepads, clipboards of like notes. There was really not
Oh,
much on it.
okay. Yeah.
So like, and we could have the script if we needed to.
Worst case scenario. Yeah.
Yes, we were very lucky, but that was the craziest 48 hours, the longest 48 hours I've had in a while.
I mean, yeah, but I guess it kind of really is a blessing in disguise because you guys didn't have time to panic. You didn't have time to sit there
No.
and stew
Mhm.
and worry. Because I feel like if you did have 2 to 3 weeks, like now you're like, oh my God, is this thing even going to be where it needs to be? And
Yeah,
now you're distracted. Now you're not even focusing on like
exactly.
really making sure it comes together because you're like you're essentially starting from ground zero with someone
Right.
brand new,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
So, and that was also
Yeah.
my first time having a Black woman as a director. So
Interesting.
I learned, even just in that aspect, I learned so
Yeah.
much and I also felt nurtured as an actor.
Yeah.
Because there's a conversation to be had too about that, but we can have that another day. Just about sometimes being the only Black actor in a room
Hmm.
and like the feedback I feel like I don't get because it
Right.
almost feels like sometimes you're being handled with like,
Gloves.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
which
like
I
they don't
don't
want
think is
to.
fair.
No, no, because they're not letting you. They're not seeing you the actor. They're seeing you the black actor.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of taking precedence. And like, don't get me wrong. Like, yes, race is like inescapable, right? Like, it's something that's always going to be there at the forefront. I mean, we just talked about it in our last episode. You know how it's just one of
Mhm.
those things of like, yeah, you can show up, but like you always. Or I don't know if we talked about. That might not have
Yeah,
been
I'm
the
like,
episode. That might have been a voice note. Never mind, guys.
yeah,
Sorry, that might
wait,
have been a
I'm
voice
like,
note.
because I was like, wait a second. I'm on, I don't even remember the last time we filmed an episode, and I know it hasn't been that long, but like, wow.
But it was in a voice, but we had been talking along something similar, and
Yeah.
we had touched on how like just like there will be times when you are just like you are inevitably reminded that you are black, but it's like and that is going to come up because it's a part of our identity, but it's like can you at least see me as the person and the actor first,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So,
So I think that a part of being an actor on a project, there's a part of you, especially when you're newer, that you
mhm.
have to adapt to that personality and just give them what they want, whatever it is that they need from you, not like anything crazy, but like
Yeah,
however their communication style is, there has to be an adjustment period to where you're kind of just like, okay, if this is the way you do things, because
right.
especially also, I think the similarities between our two experiences is it sounds like your director also wrote it, right?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like you are very clearly the voice of what is right. And also, if
Hmm.
something is interpreted differently, then they kind of do have the right to say, well, that's not how I want you to interpret it. And in
Yeah.
those instances, it's really not your job to argue that because you might see it wrong and you might come to rehearsal with a wrong idea, which is better than coming with no ideas. But
Right.
just take that redirect and say, "Oh, okay, you wanted me to say it like that because you want it to come
Hmm.
across. Oh, okay, I got you. Let me rethink
Exactly.
some stuff and push it out and go from there because I'm with you.
Yeah.
I want the director who is leading the entire thing, the entire project, I want them to know what they want and be comfortable with it because
Hmm.
I've been on projects that are lower budget, no budget actually, and the person running things doesn't is swayed by everyone around them. So depending on the
And that's a
day,
problem.
That's a
Mm-hmm.
huge problem because it's also wasteful of everyone's time.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually the ones that know what they want, they have a clear schedule. Even if it may take a little bit longer, they may be like, look, I might need you for an extra hour, but it's because I want to hit this shot and we
Right.
couldn't do it earlier for whatever reason. That's better than sitting there and being like, so what's going on? What's
Right.
going on?
Right.
Did you know that I
Right.
was here to shoot this scene today? Or did you? Oh, you forgot. Oh, okay. So do you need me today? Because I took off work. So I, I will take someone that is direct every,
Yes.
because I feel like at the very least, your time will be used wisely.
Respected.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And that's one thing that I really appreciate about him is him and his team, they are incredibly meticulous. Like when I after I signed everything, first off, sent me the NDA and it was like
Hmm.
this formal like document. I was like, okay, like he's very legit. Like he takes this very seriously, even though
Yeah.
this is like a low budget slash unpaid project.
Hmm.
They're taking it very seriously. So
Hmm.
like they sent me the schedule. They sent me like and like they have everything so meticulously blocked out, and I appreciate that organization because one, as an actor, it makes me because honestly, like we've said it before, like we put ourselves in really awkward situations. Like sometimes you don't know what you're walking into, right? Like so it's like so when I see that the director it has taken and the team like behind the project have taken like the time to be meticulous and like block out everything, I feel so much more comfortable and safe going into that space because I'm like again, I trust they know their vision, they're clear about their intentions, and I know that like whatever it is, like I feel like I am going to be supported as an actor. Like I'm not just going to be like left to like the whims of like you said uh, wasting time, and like trying to
Yeah.
like still figure out the beats. And like it's then why are we even here? Like if we're still trying to
Right.
figure out the story, why are we even here? Because like we should have
Hmm.
already had this taken care of.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's funny that, and you had that rehearsal Thursday, right?
Friday. Friday.
Oh, right.
It was long too. God, it started at 5 and we didn't end until like 8:30. Because
Okay.
we went through okay, so it's episodic. It's
Hmm.
they're mini episodes and we went through it's like 11 episodes and we went through every single one.
Hmm.
And I'm a background character, right? So it was really interesting because the background actors, they aren't technically like principal characters because they don't
Hmm.
have names and they aren't like reoccurring characters, but they do have lines. So like the way like we did it is like we'd have a couple lines sprinkled out and there are like four of us. And he's like, whoever just wants to like shout out and like take over this line, like just start talking when like this will be your opportunity to speak on camera.
Okay.
And it'll be interesting to see how it comes together because he's really focused on reactions, and it's very funny that like the theme this week has been not no dialogue because in class we did two audition we did it was audition week, so we did audition drills, and both of them were to focus on a reaction, so we had like little dialogue and like the main focus was just our reactions, and then my performance tonight that I'm going to talk about is a scene about no dialogue, and then this
Hmm.
play, because I'm a background character, he really wants like us to have like big reactions. So I'm like
Hmm.
everything I've done this week has been like leaning into this like theme, I guess, which is really interesting.
That's actually crazy, and this might derail the episode, but what else is new? That was the theme of my rehearsal today for the book club play,
Oh,
was the
interesting.
reactions. Yeah, when we were not,
Interesting.
because that's a true ensemble piece,
Yeah.
but like we're all always basically on stage, but there are
Mm-hmm.
several moments when you're not talking. And so our director, we had two directors for this, they had to keep telling us that it's important that even when you're not like upstage, when you're not speaking, that you have to connect with the other people that are not speaking because your reactions are just as important as the dialogue that's taking place in front of you. And like
Right.
we can see you, so you gotta,
Right.
and of course all of that was like our third rehearsal, so it's still all very
Yeah, you're
like
still finding the
new.
beats, getting new. Yeah.
And then also in the ICY play, the night before we had, this is like our final thing of like moments to keep in mind. We're
Hmm.
asking the students questions. And so some of the questions are like math questions. So they're writing on the chalkboard. And our director said
Hmm.
to us, I don't want it to be dead space when they're writing on the chalkboard. Someone has to say something. It's not
Yeah.
written on the page, but there can't be, and it's not even that long. It may be a minute of them writing, but that's
Hmm.
a very long time for no one to be speaking. So she was like, listen, there has to be a look between faculty members, or you guys have to, there has to be something set so that there's no, you got to fill that space. So it's so funny you
Right.
say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been like a really like heavy theme this week in a way that I'm almost like, what's going on? Where are the cameras? Because it's
Yeah.
like it's and to your point, like my director for this project, he said these things like literally throughout the
Yeah.
entire. He's like, guys, I need to see your reactions. Like some of
Yeah.
you are sitting here like dead fish. And mind you, we're on a Zoom call, so like there's only so much you could do, but like there's still like he wanted to see us interacting with the environment, and he's like, I need to see you reacting to what is happening. It needs to
Mhm.
be because it's an ensemble it's an ensemble cast, so we're all expected to be on camera pretty much a
Yep.
majority of the scenes.
Hmm.
And so like there were several times throughout like that he wanted us to do that, and then even at the very very end, the last thing that he had us do is he had us practice like two improvisation scenes, and he's like, I just want you guys to improvise. I'm going to give you a scenario, and I just want you guys to improvise. Take yourself, like, everyone turn on their mics and just like respond how you would react in this kind of scenario and situation. And um and it was really funny. And then just to an example of his personality and his style. So he yelled cut, right? And like there was a slight delay, so it took a couple people a second to finish talking, or he didn't yell it. He put it in the chat box, whatever.
Hmm.
And he said to this one actress, he said, uh name so and so. Do you know what cut means?
Oh,
Yeah, like that. But like, and but when I say like, and so, but when he says stuff like that, like it's like there's a layer of like, ha ha he, but also he's being dead ass. Like he's like, when I say cut, you need to cut. Like he
to be
expects like
fair,
he wants people on their P's and Q's.
I think and that's also why when you're dealing with people that are very blunt like that, I think it says something to their expectations of you. And that's how
Hmm.
you know that you're going to come out of the project better because
Exactly.
you're gonna learn something. Because there
Yes.
were moments where like my director for the play would say, or she like would give us worksheets of
Hmm.
vocal exercises, or she would say one thing that she said that was great was that you guys have to be rehearsing together without us. You have to find
Mm.
time to sit with each other. And this also, like, we didn't have as many in-person rehearsals. A lot of it was over Zoom. So she was like, you
Hmm.
guys have to form, well, she didn't actually say form a bond. She said, you guys just have to be doing
Do
something.
something.
She's like, you
Yeah.
have to not rely on me. And then come to find out, like after and it would just be like maybe one or two of us
Hmm.
run lines for 30 minutes, whatever, one week, and then a couple of us next week. Turns out she was right. Like that built the bond. But at the time
Yeah.
I was like, I don't understand why, like I show up to rehearsal, I show up like putting my best foot forward. Why do I have to do this? Like this is all just internal stuff. But then
Right.
it's like because it's like she's sharpening the pencil.
Right.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
At first I'd be like, of course
It's
I need
it,
to
it
cut it.
throws you off. Yeah, like it's a little it throws you off a little because you're like, whoa, what is this? But then excuse me, I keep coughing. My throat's so dry. But like there's something about it that like it really does force you to show up, and like if you take this seriously, if you're
Yes.
serious about this, you are going to want to respect, that process, and like that relationship and that dynamic. And like
Yeah.
it can be jarring, and you have to grow a thick skin sometimes, like because it's not personal. Like really at the end of the day, none of this is fucking personal. You're
No.
either for good for the role or you're not. And it's like, and if you're not, like, then maybe move on. But it's not meant to be personal. It's just if the director has a clear vision, they want their vision to go through. And
Yeah.
that's just really what it comes down to.
Yeah. It's just like step up to the plate, challenge yourself. Because
Yeah.
honestly, at the very end of the day, even with these projects that don't pay anything, if they thought you were that terrible, they would just tell you not to come back.
hmm And this
So
director has done that before.
so it's
He's so
like
blunt. I like it's really fun.
it's like, okay, I'm here. I'm here today. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do my best and I'm gonna like
Yeah.
show you that I'm here and then we're gonna make something great.
We're gonna make something great. Exactly. It really does. It just makes you want to it makes you want to put your best foot forward, like you said, and just really show up and show out. And
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm just like for this project, yeah, I'm just a background role, but like I really feel like it'll be an opportunity to flex. I don't know. Like you never know. Once you get on set, you never know what
There,
happens.
there are no small roles. And
Hmm
there was a situation that I was kind of reflecting on this weekend where here's the thing. You're not always going to get the lead. In fact, most of the time, you're not going to get the lead.
Nope.
You may be given the opportunity to be in the background or to be
Yeah.
someone like you may get an opportunity that you didn't think you wanted, okay? But it's an opportunity. And when you get that, what you do is you do the best job,
hmm
you do what is asked of you, you come prepared, and that opportunity may turn into something else down the line. And I believe I've heard Brian say before that there are no small roles, but I've heard that
hmm
reiterated several times over the past like week. That
hmm
if someone's giving you a role in something, it's not a pity role, I promise you, because there are so many other people out there that it doesn't have to be you.
It
And
doesn't have to be.
it won't be you if they don't like you or see something in you or think that you can do justice. So what that
Hmm
means is if you didn't get the role that you wanted, now you can prove to the director, the producer, the writer, whoever, other actors, you can prove to them that you're good at what you do, that you're
Right.
dependable, so that down
Yep.
the line, you never know what's going to happen. Like I've had in community theater, by the way, I moved up to this area not knowing many people. And then I just started going to auditions. And now I hear from people on Facebook like, hey, this theater around me, it's 20 minutes or so from you, but this theater around me is holding auditions. It might look like something you might want to do. Stuff like
Well,
that.
there you go. There you
Don't.
go.
And then also in the film world too, like that's why you put your best foot forward because the
Exactly.
people around you are gonna be the
They're
ones that,
going to be your network. Yes. Like literally on this project. So towards the end of the Zoom, when we're just like we were chit-chatting, I found out one of the leads,
Mhm.
she is a play director herself. And like so and she even said like how she like bonded with the director over that. And like
Yep.
and I was like, wait a second. So like there's this opportunity for me to put on a performance in front of this person. And like, yeah, no, she's obviously not has no poor like, control over this project aside from
Mhm.
her role, but like
Mhm.
maybe she sees something and she's like, hey, I'm putting on a show. Like, like there's just like there are opportunities for these connections. And if you think I won't be talking to her, I am like beelining straight to her, like, oh, so I hear you direct plays. Like, what's that about? Like, what's that life like?
'Cause you never know. And it could even be something where it's like 2 years down the line. Maybe you've
Mm-hmm.
even forgotten about this person, but you show up to
Right.
an audition and she's on the panel.
Right.
You're like, and you guys won't even have to say anything because she knows already what you're,
Mm-hmm.
you don't think that
Exactly.
that's going to go a long way.
It goes a long way. It
So
does.
it's
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 like,
really you have to really do the best job you can regardless of what role you're given because
mm-hmm.
you're never gonna get what you want 100% of the time,
Mm-hmm.
but you're supposed to do your job with what you have, whatever role that is.
And that's also why I think it's really important to make sure this is something that you love to do. Because if you love to do this, you're gonna show up. Like when I read free, because we read through T's play the night before, or the night before tech, right? Just like to so you could do do a run through. And I remember I told her, I said, I'm kind of tired today. I probably won't like put that much effort in. Girl, I literally couldn't help it. I love this so much and it's so innate to me that like
Yes.
if you put a script in my hand, I don't care how big or small the role is, I'm going to put my all into it and be the actor because that is what I love to do. So it's like
Mhm.
if you're so you really it really is a perspective thing, like like you have to look at it like every opportunity is a learning opportunity, it's a growth opportunity, it's a challenge. Like, okay, fine, I don't have a lot of lines, or fine, I don't have any lines. how can I milk this? Or like,
Because
maybe not milk, I don't should say that, but like how can I
well, yeah,
be the best person that I can be?
because it's also an opportunity to book you the next gig, and you may not
Hmm.
know it yet, but that's why you should show up and act like you got some sense.
Act like you got some sense.
Because wow,
Bare
20, 30
minimum.
years from now, I like the things that I've witnessed and just like, because to me,
Yeah.
here's the thing. I used to get on myself a lot because I didn't go to school for theater,
Hmm.
and I thought that that was the only way in. I thought you
Yeah.
had to go to NYU or you had, like, you know what I mean? Like, I
Like
think,
do one of the big
yes.
programs and do the things. Yeah.
So when I get to Actors Lab a few years ago, I'm hearing the conversations that were happening. First of all, it was like very inspiring just to see a room full of people that had like full-time jobs and that were
Right.
still like
Let's start
that was
there.
great to me. Because I'm like, I just in my mind it wasn't possible to like work at a bank all day and then come to acting class, but seeing that was very inspiring. And then you see
Hmm.
people doing the work on these student films and blah blah blah. But then also, what was I saying? Uh,
Um, um,
for it. I forget.
no, we got this. We got this because we were talking about Joe, people showing up and and loving acting and oh no.
Damn, I forgot it. That's crazy.
I hate when that happens and the
I
thought just
know.
like literally leaves. No, but it was relevant. I swear it made sense. Oh God.
I don't know. But I mean, the point is though, that you can, it's possible you can do it. Oh,
Yeah.
because I was shocked that I would sit in class and listen to Brian talk about, like, we would have like our lesson for the night and then we would go into scene work. And he would
Mm.
always say, like, it's important for you to show up, know your lines, and be professional. And in my mind, I'm thinking, isn't that the, like, isn't that the that's the minimum. Like, you should
You
know
would
that
think
already. I
so.
felt like that shouldn't have to be something that had to be said. Okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
But then you get out here and you
Hmm.
realize that I just assumed that because I did not go to school for theater, that I would be way behind. So to me, I'm always going to show up on time. I'm always going to show up with like knowing my lines because I feel like I'm already behind. But
Right.
the people sometimes that come out to these projects, and I think it's because sometimes people just think acting is easy.
They do.
It may be easy for certain people, but not everyone. The large majority of people, like it's not
We
easy.
have literally witnessed it in class where like yeah you'll have the occasional person who comes in and like they just have like a natural ability like
Yeah.
like they can just like reach it a little bit
Yes.
easier and don't get me wrong, even when you have that natural ability you still have to do the work, like there is still
Yes.
growth to be had and you can actually see it like I anyway um but then you'll see it when someone who doesn't have that and it's
Yes.
very stark that like they don't really know how to lose that actor's speak or like that actor's voice,
Yeah.
that intonation, or like they don't know how to not overact. Like there's a little bit more work that they have to put into it to find a truthful performance. It's not
But then
easy.
it's like the audacity. Listen, I get being a new actor and everything, but then to not even like show up as a professional, we
Hmm.
might not be getting paid for this, but there's still a certain level of like I'm trying, like I'm actually running my lines at home. I'm
Yeah.
trying to find my character. I'm writing out the
Yeah.
page that has all the thoughts of my character. I'm writing out scenarios and backstories and stuff. Sometimes showing up to these or like not so much with rehearsal, but like with things where it's like auditions and you can kind of tell it's like you're not you're not using the best, you're not putting your best foot forward. You just kind of showed up.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's crazy to me because in my mind I was at the bottom, but I didn't realize there's people that like below me
You really got them.
just in terms of effort, like an ability. Like, you
Hmm.
know? So,
Yeah. Yeah. No, it quite literally is. It's like oh, there's a point that I was gonna make and it left me. It's fine. Yeah, but like it's just it's really stunning to see because it's like you would think it would be common sense. Like it's yeah, we might not be getting paid for this, but it show up for the job that you want. If you
mm,
eventually want to get paid for it, You
Yeah.
have to act like you want to, like you're there to do the job, even
Yeah.
when there is no paycheck at the end of it. You
Right.
know, because like that's like you have to go into it with that kind of mindset. Because at the end of the day, I mean, we've said it before. Like this is it's a business and it's an industry, and there are certain standards that are expected, even from independent projects to studio projects, right? Like there's like people care about this, and if you're just going to show up and waste people's time and effort and their art, like then what are you even doing
Yeah.
here? You know?
Yeah, that just blew my mind.
Yeah.
Blew my mind.
So no such thing as a small role. But other
No.
than that, yeah, rehearsal was good. We have another one tomorrow, and I'm very excited. And honestly, okay, this is my soapbox about background actors. I do not think we put enough respect on their name because background actors fill the story in
Yeah.
ways that we do not. Or I should say we. I do not think are acknowledged enough. Like people treat them like they're just props. And it's like, yeah, sure, to an extent, but without the background actors, you don't have the things filling in the space of the story, right? So I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but I just wanted to throw that out there because I
I
don't mind
think,
background work.
yeah, no, I think people that don't know what the industry is think that background work is not important. But
Yeah.
that's a trash take.
Well, I don't know because it seems like because I remember when I first started, in my the beginner's acting coach at the time, she said like be careful of only doing background work, which is true because if they see that that's all you're doing, like you're kind of going to get like they're two different career paths. Like you have a
Yeah.
background actor, you have a principal actor. Um, but I think like there's a chance like I don't know. I think there should be more acknowledgement of the importance of background actors in that like you can transition from one to the other and like
Mhm.
you don't have to like only focus, or I should say you don't only have to focus on one or the other. I think there are things to gain from being both a principal actor and a background actor.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know where I was going with that. I'm kind of tired, guys.
Look at that again. It's been a
Yeah,
long weekend. A nice active acting weekend.
very active, but very long.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, performance of the week.
I don't know yet. You want to go?
Okay, yeah, I can go. I alluded to it earlier, but my performance of the week is a scene with no dialogue. So I watched a movie. I had to look it up because I can't remember anything. It was called Show Me What You Got, and quick synopsis, it's about three friends who become a throuple, and it's just kind of like a slice of life because they don't really have any relationship drama like you would think in the movie. But there is stuff that's going on. So I say that to say there's this one scene where one of the characters, he got a woman pregnant and he didn't know if it was his yet. He had to take a paternity test first. And so that was like a part of the drama of the story. But he meets up with her to kind of discuss how they're going to move forward after he finds out that the baby is his.
Hmm.
And the narrator, because there's a narrator in the movie, she says, and for this scene, I'm not going to have them say any dialogue. You're gonna see everything that they say to each other. Like they're just gonna, it's just gonna be their looks. And so the entire scene, it was like a 5 minute scene of like they're sitting at this cafe table and they're just like looking at each other, and like they each like have all these emotions all over their face. And like you see this woman, like she's looking at him hopeful, like maybe he'll step up, he'll be present father, he'll like he'll do the right thing. And he's
Hmm.
sitting here like battling, like, do I just have my rich father pay her off and make this go away? Do I
Hmm.
step up and like acknowledge this child? And it was just like a very like emotionally impactful scene that I loved. And like I said, this week has been like a theme of no dialogue. So
Yeah.
I just felt like it was like really relevant to my life at this moment, like just like from a technical standpoint.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's interesting that you're able to give a full breakdown of a scene with no dialogue. Like the director's cut of like a movie or something when they're talking
Yeah.
about like the intentions and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, like it's just like, but like, like that's how like well they did in that scene, though, like in that moment of like, and like, yeah, you have, and to go, excuse me, to Brian's point, there are always other elements that like sometimes when we get too focused on the dialogue, we forget that there are other elements of the story that are going to fill in between the words. So,
Yeah.
like, we have the context of their relationship, we have the context of who we've known this character to be up until
Mhm.
this point in his life. We have the just the context of the setting, and like, like there were all these other things that added to that that like helped inform that 5 minute scene of no dialogue. So it was really
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. And also like the music too. Like
Mm-hmm.
like someone's a villain or something based on the music. Or you know
Yeah.
something bad's gonna happen based on like the score, you know. All of
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah, there's so much that could, as far as editing goes, that could
Mm-hmm.
help or hurt the performance of an actor
Yeah.
or can change how a character is perceived.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like,
It's
but still, like you still have to show that on your face. Like you
and
have
you
to
still,
still
yeah, you
act.
still have to like do like you have, and you still have to be present and truthful in that moment, even if you're not saying the words explicitly.
You know what's
Um,
funny? That reminds me of the scene in the second Twilight movie where Bella's
mm,
sitting in the chair and the camera's just going
oh,
around her because she's depressed.
and time is going and passing by. It's like time
Yeah,
lapse.
she
Yeah.
really looked depressed too. But that yeah, that's so I would hate that would be such a challenge for me as an actor to sit there and have to convey being heartbroken. I would love to, you
Yeah.
know what? I've never tried to find a script for the Twilight movies because I'm just an expert, obviously. But I would love to see what they wrote there.
Yeah.
Because in the books, it's just several blank pages with the months written on it.
I
Which I
remember
thought, by the way,
that.
was very great writing because up
Yeah.
until now, like you've had like full, obviously, chapters of stuff, but like then it's like October, November, that's it. And it just shows all of the months that have gone by with
Yeah.
nothing through her head, like but depression. So
Yeah. Oh, I forgot that she did that in the book. That was really clever.
yeah, iconic, honestly.
Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't
Yeah, it
really,
was. Hmm.
I didn't watch much of anything this week.
Okay.
So I'll say my performance of the week was definitely um Octavius Cato in the
Hmm.
play. And you know what's funny? So the play is set in the 1860s and back then there was definitely a level of what's I don't know what the word is. Uh, uh
Formality,
yeah, like there was an
kind
expectation
of.
that like the women did not open the doors for themselves if they were with men, like they
Mm,
that type of
hmm.
thing.
A lot of social
So
rules.
yes, so like every time I had to walk down steps, like he had to help me walk down the steps. Or like he didn't have to like pull out my chair or anything because we were on stage, but like just that like when I would get up from my chair, he would kind of like help me up. Little stuff
Yeah.
like that on top of the fact that he is an excellent and he's actually trained. He is trained
Hmm.
classically. So that was
Yeah.
it was nice to see him perform. Like he would up the ante and that was just freaking amazing. But he did a great job of
Yeah.
commanding the room. The students were very much enthralled with his performance and
And
yeah,
well,
that
you
was
mentioned that on the school visits too. Like he was very he was really good at being able to flex like that.
Can I just share I don't know if I've shared this, but like I will never forget when we went to the school visits. It was much more of an improv thing, and I
Hmm.
think I said before that I had to rely on the context of my research and the research that was given to me to
Yeah.
answer questions, and that there was no script, so the students could ask whatever they wanted. And in fact, we were at times begging them to ask more stuff because we're like, we're here, like. So one time they asked how we met. And I don't know that we had like the intricate details of how they met. So
Hmm.
just kind of had to improv a moment. And he looks over at me on the other side of the classroom. We're all in character, okay? And I think he started off with something like, well, when I first laid eyes on Caroline and I turned red, the spirit of Caroline compelled me because I have never I didn't even know like I was so like I was in bed like it was
Oh my God. No, that's such a great moment. Because you know
it
what?
totally worked.
those are the moments in acting when it feels truthful like that. Like you're having a physical response. Like
Girl.
that is like those are like some of the best moments because that's how you know like you're in that character.
Because that caught me off guard because I was like, we didn't talk about that. But I'm glad he said something because like he also is much better at like coming up with answers quicker and more
Mm.
concisely than I was. Like I would take a moment. I would have to repeat the question and think about it and then kind of give an
Yeah,
answer.
like find like the
Yeah.
best like yeah.
Oh my gosh, he was great. But in that moment, I literally, it worked so well, but I got so red. I had to turn around and face the wall. And you know, the girls ate that up. They were like, oh,
Oh, that is, and that's like,
never
that's
forget.
so fun because I would love to have been one of those students because, like, that was a moment that stood out to them.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
because, that's such a truthful, like, expression of, like, humanity in that moment,
Yeah.
you know?
You know what's funny? This is the last thing I'll say about that is that so we took a lot of pictures afterwards in costume and all that good stuff. And obviously, like there's an unspoken rule where if you're in costume and you're interacting with the crowd, like you're in character. So I
Right.
was Carolyn LeCount for several hours on Friday. And so we're taking pictures and they're like, oh, let's get one with just you two because we didn't have any in costume. And so we took like a picture holding hands and they were like, oh, it's almost like we're having the wedding that they never got to have because
Oh my God, why would they say that?
yeah. I said, why am I about to cry right now?
Like, legitimately, like, oh, okay.
So that was great. But
Oh my
yeah,
God.
hopefully we'll be reviving those characters soon. I'm down. I'm
Yeah,
down.
that's really sweet. That's really funny. It's almost like they had their wedding like they never got to have,
Because we were
which
on
is like,
the front steps of the church that they historically had attended before. Like that's the church that we did it in is like classic. Like
yeah,
it's been around for centuries. So yeah.
that's kind of spooky when you think about it, because like you were literally standing on the like you kind of actually were honoring their memory in that
Oh,
moment. Like that's kind of spooky
oh.
if you like get a little woo.
Have felt in the best way possible, I have felt the presence of Carolyn with me
Yeah,
since I said like more and more, like even just in my career decisions, like I always said I would never, ever, ever teach. I would never do that because I don't have the patience. I don't know how to get to people outside of myself. I know how to teach Tiana. I don't know how to teach anyone
yeah,
else. But Carolyn was a principal for decades before
almost
she
like a long, well, a huge portion of her life.
and starting from very young too like so like I've just the more I research the more I'm like well this is kind of my legacy too just like it was
Yeah,
Carolyn's legacy she never got to have kids because the love of her life was murdered and so she gave back to the community through storytelling through the knowledge through everything
yeah.
so yeah
And a legacy a legacy that's so strong that it still lives on to this day, like
well
centuries later. So
yeah.
like that's like I'm so glad you had that experience and thank you so much for sharing it with us. Like it sounds like it was really, really worth it in the end.
Oh yeah, it was 110% worth it. And I'm so glad
Yeah.
I did it because I wasn't
Yeah.
that was the audition that like I had saw it a couple of times. And then
Mm-hmm.
I remember you sent it and I was like, it's been on my to-do list to apply for this, but I just have been so busy. I'm so glad I did it. So
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what a great note to leave off on. Oh,
yes.
guys. My heart is so full. I don't know why that just like really made like I'm gonna cry actually. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's like I don't like there's something about that like really like touched me. Like that was really nice.
Stop it.
I'm so
Stop it.
sorry. Like I don't know like there's something like I just
No, because I haven't had my
yeah.
decompress moment from this.
I know.
Because
Yeah.
in my mind it's just gonna keep going on. And we really did, like me and like my co-star, we really did like have a very like nice bond. Like he stop. What
I'm
are we
sorry. I'm
doing?
sorry. I know like the like I don't know, like it's I don't know. I'm like because I'm just thinking I'm like because we talked about this like back when we first started the podcast and it's like oh we'll see what happens in May and like here we are in May. Like my brain is like I can't like all of this is like coming together in like such a really beautiful way.
I'm gonna tell my director you cried.
Yeah. 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 because like that's like I don't know, like there's something really touching about, and there's the story that you're telling. Because like even when I read the script and I was like, there's so much here that like I don't know, like you just don't know, and I felt
No,
yeah,
girl. No, girl. I didn't know anything. And there's still stuff I'm still learning about her. And like all, by the way, there's so many people that came out of the Institute for Colored Youth. Like even
Mhm.
like if anyone has watched The Gilded Age, they
Mhm.
mentioned there was a couple of characters on there, Black women, I believe. And they said, oh yeah, these ladies are from the Institute for Colored Youth. So people knew. And this is like, I think they were, where's The Gilded Age, that show
New York,
placed?
New
Yeah,
York,
people knew what this school was. It was very important to
right,
the community. And
right,
again, the premise of the play was the examination that they would have to give in front of hundreds of people. It wasn't like today, like you had to stand up and it's almost like defending a thesis statement for a PhD student. That's what these
right,
kids had
yeah,
to do. The kids
yeah,
had to do, and they're answering like we did very little of it, but they had to recite Latin, they had to solve geometry problems, they had to answer all oral, by the way, in front of their peers so that the community knew that they were capable of doing X, Y, and Z. So it was very impactful for me because I'm looking around like I'm not doing enough. If these
right,
kids don't need to do
right,
it, on top
right,
of the fact that, by the way, this is the 1860s, racism was still very much alive. So, like, on top of all of this, like, so
hmm
yeah, it was a very impactful project, and I'm so glad I got to be a part of it. And I really do hope, I'm not even joking, that somehow it makes its way onto the screen. And I
yeah.
told them, I will be in the background, to your point. Just let me audition for something. I don't care if
I
it's
just wouldn't be a part of it. Yeah.
this story has to be told. I don't know if like it hasn't gotten that far yet, but I think it should.
I don't know. Who knows? I mean, we could be looking back in another 6 months and this could be a continuing conversation, and I hope it is. I
And let
really
me just
do.
say this, we could close it out on this. Don't let me book a role like that because see, Tiana doesn't know how to act. Tiana will quit her 9 to 5. Okay.
Okay, Tiana,
Tiana,
let's not do that, Tiana. Let's not do that yet, Tiana. Let's
Tiana will quit. Tiana already don't want to be there.
well,
So
clock it. Clock it. This is the stepping stone. This is the second job that's kind of mandatory if you want to pursue
someone,
this.
someone at work was like, yeah, you don't really seem affected by like the like because it's kind of like a customer service job. They're like, you don't really
Mhm.
seem affected by the, the personalities. And this is not what I want to do. Like,
Right.
I want to be on set.
Right. Like it's funny that you say that. Okay, this will be the last thing.
Yes.
Completely unrelated. Just so unrelated. So my coworker, she was just bitching today. So for those of you who don't know, I work in the paint department of Home Depot, and I'm actually leaving that job, which is why I'm sharing it because I'm not working there anymore. But um I know it's been 9 years. Anyway, so we're standing there and she's bitching because this little girl grabbed like all these paint booklets and she's just like, and like her mother told her to put it back, da, 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 and she's just going on. And I stopped and I looked at her and I said, girl, why do you care too much? Who cares? Who, it doesn't come out of our paycheck. It doesn't affect us. And she's like, well, if someone comes looking for it and we don't have any, okay, then we don't have any. What do we care? Like, why are you letting yourself get so worked up over something so asinine, especially for a job like this? And that's just kind of been my attitude as well. I just wanted to, because I completely agree. It's like I'm not investing myself in this like that because this isn't my forever.
Yes. Yes. Period.
So, all right, guys. Well, and with that, we bid you
Yeah.
adieu until next week.